This is a really interesting project. I love anime and NFTs and everything around it. And I have Nanhair here from Apprentices to talk about their project and their community driven IP around their anime that they're building. So, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Pete, for having me today here. I'm glad to be in your channel.
Now, I think we need to fill in the audience so that they know exactly where we are at with your project. I actually bought one of the founders passes last year when it came out, and I've been receiving airdrops, but I don't know what's been going on. So, can you fill us in exactly what the project is and where and what you're up to at the moment?
Yeah, sure. So, Apprentices is an anime, a manga, an art, and a media entertainment IP that we're building in Cardano. All of this started in 2020 during the pandemic when I started writing the story. I started writing at the time. I wanted I always have like a lot of imagination, and I wanted like to create my own story. Um, so I started writing this for like my first experience writing something. Um, and at the time, wasn't into NFTs. I was just starting like to get like investing in crypto, but I didn't know about NFTs. I started to connect with NFTs at the beginning of 2021. Um, and I worked all my life in the art market. My family here has an auction house, an art gallery, one of the oldest from Buenos Aires, Argentina. So early 2021, a friend called me, and they told me, "Hey, Juan, did you heard about NFTs? Like, check it out because it has something to do with you because it's a way to certify digital art." And so I got really interested on this because before NFTs, it was impossible to certify digital art. That's the reality. And I started investigating, like checking first like Ethereum, then I got into Tesos, and I start at the beginning I started collecting art, um, and I ended up like I would say July 2021 in CNFT.io. At the time, was the only platform to get NFTs in Cardano, and there were no smart contracts, so it was like kind of hard, to understand. Hey, how do I purchase an NFT here? Um, but then in September, I would say maybe early September or October, I got my first NFTs from Cardano, and I purchased a Cardano Beats, and there was a collection called Space Babes too. And that was my first experience with communities and understanding how these collections were like doing things. And when I started like getting deep into these communities, I thought like, hey, maybe I can turn Apprentices and all this story that I've been writing with all these characters into an NFT project. And that was the beginning of the idea. At the time, it was November, and I got in touch with Pablo and Noelia, our main artist of Apprentices, and they are from here, also from Buenos Aires, from my city, and they work all their life in manga. They are like mangakas, like people that dedicate themselves to draw manga. That's the only thing that they do. Um, so this was kind of like a little bit weird, like, hey, would you be interested in like doing a collection? And it was their first experience doing a
Yeah.
collection. And that also has influence on the art because I will explain later, but um, I showed them the story that I was writing, the characters, and they were really interested. So we started like working together by the end of December, and like we had the first like sketches, like concept art for the collection in January 2022. We tested different poses for the PFP until we ended up like choosing the one that you see now. The 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 apprentice like pose that is we've been like showing all the sneak peeks since May 2022, yeah, when we opened the Twitter. Um, and at the beginning, like I thought I could generate this collection, like any other collections. But when I started getting the traits from Pablo and Noelia, they started sending me traits, and I realized, like, I started testing in Photoshop. I work a lot with Photoshop, and I realized, like, okay, this is gonna be like really hard to generate because like the traits are really complex and like long hairs that go all, from the top of the PFP to the lower
Yeah.
part and cross a lot of layers. Um, so I realized, like, hey, if I want these combinations to happen, I'm gonna have to do like 100 copies like of this trait in order like to make them be able to mix with each other with the other layers. Um, so when I realized this, I thought, well, maybe I can like maybe I can do this with my own hands, like one by one, instead of
Okay.
yeah. I was crazy. I didn't know how much work it was gonna take, but um, so I thought like this was maybe June, um, yeah, June last year, and I started like working on the collection, going one by one, and um, I opened like 6 different Photoshop sessions. To like we have 3 races, and there's like both sexes for the 3 races. So you have female and male human, female and male androids, and female and male Arcturians. That are kind of like the elven, aliens from other planet. So that was the beginning of the journey, like, to handcraft a 4,333 collection. Um, and yeah, and I never, I at the beginning I thought, well, this is gonna take me like 2 months probably, like, and soon I realized that it was like, no, it was not gonna take 2 months. It was gonna take maybe more than a year to work on this. But I think at the end, like, it was, if I was trying to achieve excellence with the art of the collection and everything, like, I'm very obsessive with the art, and I like the, looking the art to look clean. So like working on with my own hands in the collection, like it allowed me to like make each of the PFPs unique in some way, and like make the color combinations nice. Like, nothing is random. Like, in the whole collection, all, even like the most simple of the apprentices, some of them took me 5-10 minutes to craft. Some of them took me like half an hour or even an hour, um, because there's like, some clean ones, some that have a lot more things, like they're wearing like, masks and prosthesis eyes, and like, um, so yeah, it was kind of like a crazy idea. But that, when I realized, okay, this is going to take time, um, and I want, to give like the community something cool, we started also working on the founders cards. At the time, it was like May, more or less, last year, that, well, you told me you minted one. And the founders cards, we launched them on August 21st last year. I think the price was 65 ADA, the mint, and it sold out really fast. And it was a really cool, 3D card with the character like animated. You have like the 3 main characters: Leno, Mia, Oli, and we started making some like airdrops, like really low supply airdrops, in order to, like, to keep scarcity and value, because like if we do airdrops for everyone, like, there's no value in the airdrop, like, so I always like keeping things scarce and making things rare, like, because it's nicer to hold something that is rare than something that everyone has. Um,
Yeah.
so that was a little bit the beginning of the journey.
It's a pretty cool journey that you've gone through, and I've been watching it, and like you said, I got one of the founders passes, and I've received some of these airdrops. So I'm getting teased in regards to what's actually being developed and going on. And you sent me this trailer as well. I did see it before, but let me just pull it up on screen so everyone else can see this. So just give me 1 second.
チして居場所を確認できたわ。座標をリストバンドに送るね。
オリ、ミヤ、聞こえるか？下で何かが起きている。男が女性を引きずっている。突入するぞ。
レナ待って、数分ちょうだい。奴らのシステムに入り込むから中で何が待っているかはわからない。ミヤの言う通り、シェイプシスターは危険だ。そして君はギフトを手に入れたばかりだ。彼らを見分けるのは難しい。
よし、チーム、とりあえず行ってくる。
ちょっと待て。
All right, how cool is that? If that didn't get you excited, I don't know what will. So it really gives me Ghost in the Shell and Akira vibes, you know, back in those days, early, late 80s, early 90s anime. And I can't tell, but it seems like you drew some inspiration from that style of anime back then. And the fact that you've written the storyline and everything before it, and now it's evolved into where it is now, I'm pretty excited to see where this will go. So there's so much to this. So you've done this little mini teaser trailer. You've got your NFT collection that is minting very soon, and I actually will bring that up on screen as well, so everyone can see that as well. So there's just so much to this project at the moment, and there's so much to share. Hang on, there we go. So this is the collection as it is at the moment. I wish I could go back a little bit, but you can see the screenshots in the background there. So I do like the poses and everything. There we go. We can see that. Now, when is the mint date for this?
So the mint is the 29th of September. The mint price is gonna be around 100 USD, and it's gonna be announced in ADA like 1 week before the mint. And the supply is like 4,333. We are minting with JPEG Store. We are the last Launchpad project of JPEG, and yeah, it's kind of like the same day as NFT Las Vegas, so it's gonna be crazy. Because yeah, I think it's really cool. Like it wasn't like planned. Like I decided like the 29th of September, like it was a good date for me to mint, and we're gonna be also there's gonna be some activities in NFT Las Vegas with Apprentices, and there's gonna be like JPEG is gonna be giving some Ollie stickers to like people that go through their stand. So it's pretty cool.
I'm jealous. I'm not there. I couldn't make it. I absolutely love. You can't make it either. Oh.
Yeah,
because it's definitely a really good event to be at, especially if you love some of these NFT collections and projects that are building some really cool things. So you know, being able to meet the projects, collect the merchandise, and all sorts of things is just a really good experience.
Yeah, I would love to go. In my case, I'm gonna be like a father in October, so I need to stay here with my wife. But yeah, and like besides, it's like the same mint day. You know, like I couldn't be like talking to everyone in there in Las Vegas, and like we are minting, so I have to be taking care of the mint and all that. But next year, I'm sure I'm gonna go because I would really love. Last year I couldn't go, and I want to meet a lot of people there. So
okay, that's awesome. Hopefully, I can make it next year as well and meet you and see where the project's at and everything. Now, we do have a little bit of a roadmap here. Can you take me through where you're at the moment, so you can fill in the gaps?
Yeah. So that's like a very simple roadmap. But we're gonna be releasing like all the mint goals probably next week. So like the real thing is like the mint goals. There's a lot of things that we don't need funds to do. So that's like the roadmap that we don't need the funds, kind of things that we're going to do. Like if we sell 0%, or if we sell like whatever, like that's the things that we're going to be doing. but then we are going to be releasing also the mint goals, and that's a lot more. There's a lot more detail there, like of what we want to be doing, like according to how much we sell of the collection. I'm prepared for anything, like in this kind of market. Like, although I always say, like when I go to tourist spaces, like I don't care about like if it's a bull run or bear market. Like we were born in the bear market, right? So
Yeah.
um, like yeah, we are an anime, manga, art, and media entertainment IP. So you will expect that kind of things from us. With the anime that we like, the anime teaser that we did. The idea was to show everyone in Cardano, in the blockchain, that like we already have the tools to create animation, and that like for me was my first experience producing animation. I work with very talented people, and yeah, kind of like Apprentices. What we want to do is like we want to do manga. We want to do like collaborations. I have a lot of ideas I cannot mention now because it wouldn't be professional. But there's really cool things that we want to do. Like we have this idea of maybe doing a visual novel. I don't know if you heard about visual novels, but it's like a very um, it's not like a video game like everyone knows. It's a game. It's a digital game, but it's kind of like something that very popular among like anime and manga fans, like otaku nerds that like in Steam or like Nintendo Switch or even PlayStation Store, you can get some really cool visual novels. It's a kind of like you can think of a mix. Visual novels are like a mix of animation with video game with like like these choose your own adventure style books,
Yeah.
where like you have dialogues and consequences and it branches into different endings. So um like Apprentices is going to be doing that. Like it's going to be doing bringing artists, and we we have cool ideas with developers, like to do our own, maybe, you know first we gotta test the waters. I don't want to be like developing stuff and there's nobody consuming that. So but there's a lot of ideas, and soon when we release these mint goals, it's gonna be way more clear than now. Like when I released the founders cards, everything was 100% clear, like what you get by purchasing one of like the founders cards. So it's going to be the same with like the main collection. Like people are going to know, like, okay, I get this and this. Well, maybe you like it, maybe not, but that's what you get with purchasing one of our NFTs, of course.
So you did mention the founders cards, and this is it here. So I managed to get 2 of them, and I tried to get like a really rare one.
You got the special one, and the special one. You know what's the difference, right?
No, I don't.
No? Okay, the specials are like more expensive than the other ones, and it's because, of course, they are cool and holographic, kind of like that style, but also like there's gonna be like for each founders card, there's a custom apprentice airdrop, like maybe by the end of the year. So like the custom founders cards, they get like to pick up the rare traits for custom apprentices. So that's why they usually go for a higher price in the market. Like, yeah, there's only 42 of those.
I'm glad I got one. I'm really glad I got one. I only got the Mia. I couldn't get the other one, so I was just, I guess, lucky to get those ones there. This is the artwork for those that haven't seen it yet, and I absolutely love that. And I'll just pull up some of these airdrops that I received over the last few months. So this is one of Ollie.
Oh, nice! That's one of the like the last airdrop that I work, training models in Stable Diffusion.
Really?
For this, yeah. So this is made with Stable Diffusion and a trained model of Ollie, a model that learned everything about like Ollie, and I use, like, of course, it takes time. I don't have like the best computer. I have like a good GPU, but it's not the best. But it was a really cool experience, like learning to train and do this Stable Diffusion art.
That's amazing. I had no idea you used Stable Diffusion to do
That's
that.
why it's called
That's
AI
really cool.
Apprentices. You know?
Ah, I really got to join the Discord more often so I can work out what's going on here.
It's okay.
I just have way too many Discords. And then this is a manga strip that got airdropped as well. So you can actually read a couple of the pages there. So I'm assuming some of the artists that you worked with that you mentioned before.
This was kind of like we tried to do a short. We worked this with a Latin American manga artist called Eru Dibuja, and he worked with HBO and a lot of like animation, and he's I would say one of the best manga artists from Latin America, and like his style is very early 90s, late 80s, that style of manga. And this was kind of
era.
like yeah, mine too. It was kind of an introduction to each, like a funny, like a joke introduction to each one of like Leno, Mia, and Oli, the three characters. So like, and there's only, I think of this one, there's only 14. So it's pretty rare.
I got to hunt down these other ones. And then this last one here that I got airdropped from the Founders Vault.
That was with Royo Shimisha, a Japanese artist living in Tokyo.
Cool. Very cool indeed. All right. Now let's have a look at some of these assets and layers that you've put together for this collection. You said you've been working quite hard on them, so I'd love to see what you got together and a little sneak peek for everyone.
I'm going to show you the Photoshop session. One sec. Let me know if you see there's some spoilers, but like it's okay.
That's what we're all about, right? We want to see the spoilers.
Okay, so what you're seeing here is like the human female session. So because like in Photoshop the session can have up to 2 gigabytes. That's the maximum a session can have in Photoshop. And like all the sessions of Apprentices are like up to 2 gigabytes. So it's like really annoying. Like, but like if I show you here, like you're gonna see like all the layers, like, and these, yes, like hundreds and hundreds of layers. And like the fun part is like, for example, if I show you, like this, you see that there's the same trade like at least like 10 times here. Like, for example,
with slightly different variations.
Yes, because like I had the idea of like, let's do 3 different hand poses. Like, oh, it's gonna be cool if we do 3 different hand poses. Yeah, but it's really like when you go to the practice and you start realizing, oh, hey, like I have to edit like all the clothes in order like to look good with the hand, like the different hand poses. So I ended up having like a lot of like repeated layers. So like let me show you. You see, this is kind of like the Disco code trade from Disco Solaris. And you see you have like the black, the green, you have like red, like orange, sorry. Then this is for another hand. Like if I go here, like one sec. So for example, I change there, and you see this one goes with this hand. So like when you start like mixing all the trades, like you have to do like it's kind of like you get to do many copies of the same trade in order to look good with the other ones. Like let me show you here. For example, long hair.
It's like here. Really little subtle things that you have to change and just to make it look a little bit better. Otherwise, it just looks odd the way it is.
Correct. Yeah. So here, for example, this hairstyle, like this part, this like I would say ponytail, whatever. Like this goes outside of the cloth, right? So here it's the same. Like the one that she has here, like has to go outside. So like this wing hair trade, it's adapted to the disco code. Like, and you see like here, like all these are wing trades, right? Like it's the same trade, but like one is for the cool jacket, one is for the rain hoodie, one is for like the latex suit, the one is for the leather suit, one is for like, so future dress, and we have like all these different cloth trades. And this trade is, it's like, you get like, you gotta be editing like each one to be able to match with the other trade. And that's what took a long, imagine repeating this process in each one of the sessions, because like each one of the apprentices, like the face is not the same. Like the you have like the humans, that you have the boys and the girls, and then the androids have like the different nose and the different like lips, so all these small details, like it took a long time to make everything as clean and perfect as possible. Like I'm very obsessive, so but I think I'm really proud of what's coming out, and like the results of these. And I think it's like, it makes this different to all the other collections. It took a long time, but you can see like when the collection comes out, or if you see the sneak peeks in our Twitter, like I think like each sneak peeks looks like unique, and that's really cool.
I think so too. No, I love it. So I'd love the amount of care and attention that you put into each individual NFT. So I think the community is going to absolutely love whatever they mint, because they know that a lot of care has been taken to create each one of those.
Here, for example, I have the background.
I love the styles.
Like the good part is like that I can change. Like I can match the backgrounds however I want. So it's kind of like, it's perfect, because like you can like seek for harmony, like in the composition, like and that's like I get the feeling that like whatever apprentice you mint, like you're gonna be happy because they all look really nice. Like even the floor ones.
Yeah, because you know that you've gone through and said like this color combination doesn't match, it doesn't look good. Let's not mint that one.
And there's a lot of trades. Like imagine like I received the last trade today. Like this one, like these screens, like these, like kind of like holographic cyber screens, and this was the last trade. So we were working like almost 2 years, like in the art,
Crazy,
I think there's no project that like no anime project has done this before in the entire blockchain, I think.
Yep, gone to this depth, this level for sure. All right, so the PFPs are coming out. That's coming out on the 29th. Super excited about that one. So I'm looking forward to that mint. Now, the other things that you're going to build out in the timeline, I like that teaser anime. When I'm going to see episode 1, because that's I love that teaser storyline already, and it's like I said, it's giving me goosebumps, and I want to see more of that. Like I know that's going to take forever, but like when is forever?
Well, it's kind of my dream doing like the full episode, but that's like, so you get an idea, like that animation costs around $10,000. Like animation is really, really expensive, like really expensive. And like it wouldn't be beneficial for like the project to just like do anime, because it's very hard, to like to make it viable in the long term. So like this is why I told you about like visual novels, because that gives us the possibility to mix animation, like in the key moments of the story, and like to put a really nice developer, the story of Apprentices through the visual novel. Although like the main story is going to be developed through the manga, right? That's like doing manga is way more cheaper than doing animation. Like a 20-minute episode like of animation could cost you around like $250,000 more or less. it's really expensive. And like if you ask anyone in animation, you can ask Jesse from Jesus 2 or anyone. Like animation is super expensive. So like the way I thought is like, okay, maybe like if we bring this into a game that we can also sell on Steam and attract like, because most of the people that love anime and manga are outside of Web3, and maybe we have a great story, we have really attractive characters, so we can get all these people to know Apprentices through a game like a visual novel, and there we can put some animations, like really cool animations in the key moments, like you have fight of Leno against whatever, and so yeah, I mean, it will be really nice to do like the full episode, but like being realistic, like we like we would have to be seeking funds from like like other places in order to produce a full episode. Maybe it's a Web2 stream platform, maybe it's a VC or whatever, but like it wouldn't be intelligent to use, like in my case, because I want to expand to other things. I want to do like physical figurines, I want to do like I want to do apparel, I want to do things like and so it's kind of like gotta be really careful with how you use the mint funds. So like doing a full pilot episode, maybe in the future, I hope, like my dream is that, of course, like my dream is like we can develop like the whole story in anime. But first we're going to start with the manga, as all the Japanese also TV shows start as a manga, then are adapted to the anime.
I agree. That's a good approach, and I understand why that novel game is put into place as well. So you do need that fan base to actually want to watch the anime. So you can't just produce something and expect people just to watch it. And then you got all these other mechanics and things that you need to worry about, such as like the distribution of it as well, and all these other things. So hopefully you build up your fan base, you have the manga, you have lots of sales from that in the future. The game's doing well on Steam. It's got a mobile version as well. So far, I love the storyline, love the artwork, love everything that you guys are doing, the care and attention that you're doing. And then Netflix or something picks it up and produces it for you, and we go into a couple of seasons on that on Netflix. So fingers crossed for you.
Yes.
Is there anything else that we need to know about the project?
You can check our website, theapprentices.io. There's a lot of lore. We're gonna be updating now, like before the mint, with the city, like an interactive map of the city of Apprentices. The city is called Neo Tamelaike. It's the story is settled in the Patagonia region of South America, like in a future, in like kind of like after the apocalyptic, like an apocalyptic future, I would say. And like a lot of the world was like it's now under like the sea, and so there's a lot of lore, and chapter 1 and 2 of the story are there. Of course, I write the story in Spanish, and then I have a translator, a very professional translator, that translated to English so everyone can read it. And yeah, check our website, theapprentices.io. Check our Discord, discord.gg/apprentices, and our Twitter @apprenticescnft. And we're minting 29th of September. I'm always open to any questions. Like anyone want to do a call with me, I'm available. This is my life. Apprentices is my life. So like I'm always here.
Brilliant. Okay. Nanhair, thank you so much for joining me on this episode and taking me through everything Apprentices. Good luck with the mint, and hopefully it's an awesome sellout for you.
Thank you. And thank you for having me and inviting me, giving me the chance to speak about our project.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast. Gotta get it hype. Crypto is what we like, but this is not investment or financial advice. Gotta do your research, cause it's risky. We know it is. This show is educational and it's informative. Crypto's the future, really, it ain't no debating.